Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is foam roll. We're going to start with our quads. Bring one knee to the side, back and forth, all the way to the knee. Once you've done that on both sides, then you come around and you work a little bit on your calves. You can start by having your feet, this foot down on the side, but if you feel comfortable, you can bring your foot above. Once you've done your calves, like different angles, you want to move on to your hamstrings. And then your glutes. A bit longer than what I'm doing. And then finally, you do your IT band over here on the side. Like that. Once you've done that on both sides, you grab the ball and you go for your foot. Then you do some hip mobility. So we're going to start over here. You bring your leg across over to the side and you bring your knee down and back up. Do that a few times. Then with a hand next to your foot, you bring across and you stretch as high up as you can. Come back down and then do the other side. Come back down. And then from here, you sit up and you're going to go stand up and come back down. That's going to stretch your hip flexor and strengthen your hips at the same time. You do about 10 of these and then you move on to the other side. Next part of your warm-up is some walkouts. We'll do 10 walkouts. You walk all the way here and walk back. You do that 10 times. The final one is going to be coming from side to side. If you need to hold on to a TRX, you can, if that helps. You want to try to come as low as you can from side to side. Feel stretch here. I want you to think about this movement here of tucking your hip in. That's what we're going to do sitting down. So we're here, this way, you're coming back, and the first thing I want you to think about is tucking this in. Then you're going to put your elbows here, not too far back, otherwise you get to lean on it too much. So you're here pointing upwards, and all you're going to do is small tucks of that pelvis, like I showed you when we were standing. It's quite hard, so you're going to try to do 15 to 20 at a time. 15 to 20, little pause, 15 to 20, little pause, 15 to 20. That's one round. Next, you're going to do your glute bridge with some walkouts to work on your hamstrings and your glutes. So you're going to lie down here. Again, we're thinking about that tilt that we just did. We're lifting up by pushing our belly button down. So I'm squeezing my glutes, pushing my belly button down, bringing my pelvis up. From here, I go down nice and slow. I'm going to do that 20 times. Once I'm done with doing that 20 times, I hold it up here for 20 seconds. I'm squeezing everything, pushing my belly button in. And then I'm going to do some walkout. So I'm going to walk out with my feet, trying to keep my hips nice and high. I'm working those hamstrings. My hips are just above the ground. And then I walk back up. And then I go again. And then walk back up. Do that 15 times. So for the next one, if you're at the gym, you can use a cable machine or you can just use a band like I'm doing now. So you're holding the band or the cable with the same arm as the leg that's forward. And I'm going to start with the lunge position. I'm here. And what I'm going to do is when I'm going to drive up with my knee up here, I'm also going to do a row with my arm. So here, and that's 1. And again, 2. 3. You're going to do 12 on each side. And the last exercise of this little tiny round is squats with a weight, if you can. You're going to do 10 to 12. By the time you get to your 12th one, it should feel quite difficult. So if it doesn't, you should go up in weight. Just make sure that you're not dropping the hip at the bottom. So what I mean by that is that's enough. If you then do this, that's dropping your hip. You want to make sure that your back is nice and straight. And up, down, up. We're going to move on to the next one, which is going to be a 3 stance row. So you've got your weight here. It can be either dumbbell or, is that okay? Yeah, it can be either a dumbbell or a kettlebell. So you're here, one hand here, like that, keeping your back nice and straight. If you don't want, this is bad, this is good, yeah? And we're here, squeeze your shoulder blades together, bring your weight up to around the level of your belly button. You're doing that 15 times on each arm. Then the next one you're going to do over here, you're going to hold the weight, not the weight, the band. You hold the band here. You're just going to go for some external rotation for your shoulder. Nice and controlled. If you feel like that's too easy, you can bring this arm closer here, and that just makes it a little bit more difficult. Make sure that you keep this arm close to your body. You're not doing this. So you've got this right here. All right, and then the last one that you're going to do is again some rows, but this time you've got band like this, and you're just going to go row, control, and squeeze, squeeze. You're going to do that 20 times, and then you're going to hold it for 20 seconds, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And that's it. You do those three times around. Part of this warm-up is a little bit more core exercise. The first one you're going to do is Commando plank. So you're going from high plank to low plank. You're going to do that for 1 minute. Then straight away, without taking a break, you're going to touch your elbow, touch the other one, take your leg up. Touch, touch, leg up. You're going to do 30 seconds each side. And your final one, you're going to come down here and do 1 minute of jumping jacks. So that's 3 minutes in total. 1 minute of Commando planks, 1 minute of 30 seconds each knee, each side, and then 1 minute of those jumping jacks. Take a break and do it twice more. You're going to take a band or a towel, something to hold your leg, and you're here. If you want to start nice and low, keeping your knees straight, and you slowly bring it up. If you can't take it up anymore, don't then bend your knee to bring it up. I'd rather you keep it a bit further down and stretch it that way. Then, once you've done that for a few seconds, maybe 20 seconds or so, you want to twist your ankle inwards so that you feel your calf stretching as well. Hold that for about 20 seconds and then change side. Then your next stretch is going to be for your glutes. You've got a few options for that. The first one is you can just put one leg over the other and try to come as close to your legs as possible. Otherwise, you can do the pigeon stretch. Starting point is high plank. You bring your foot forward and you take your arms forward. You should feel it over here. If you can feel it in your hip flexor, you just need to bring this foot a bit forward. A little bit forward, not like that. Like that. One is the couch stretch for your quads. So you can use your sofa if you want. You bring your foot all the way back to the back of the sofa and you come forward so that you feel that stretch. Also in your hip flexors. If you want, you can sit up and that really stretches your quads. So if you're here, you'll feel it in the hip flexors. If you're here, you'll feel it in your quads. If you want to feel it a bit more intensely on your quads, you can put a pillow down, come all the way down, and you're up here. And if you want it even more intense, you do it against the wall. For your chest and for your back, you can either use a band or the TRX. Both, you're going to just hold it here and you're going to turn around that way so that you feel your chest stretching out. So you can do the same with the TRX. Same principle. Just stretch it out. You can also hold on to the door, whatever you want, as long as you're turning around. And the next one for your back, over here, sit back and just wiggle around like that. You can do that with a band as well. And finally, the last stretch is for your shoulders, or the inside of your shoulders. You bring your hands back and just bring your hips as close to your heels as you can. You do that about 5 to 6 times. And if you want, if you still feel like you need a bit more stretching, you can go for the classic yoga. This will stretch out your abs a little bit. This will stretch out your lower back. You can just do that a few times. And then you can go shower.